Welcome once again to BCHS.TV. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. We're going to talk today about cheerleading here at Bradley Central High School with our cheerleader sponsor and coach. We call her Miss Jennifer Moore. Jennifer, welcome to the program today. It's always nice to have you here. We've talked earlier last week a couple of times, had a big morning show here on the radio last Friday for the Cleveland game, and things went really, really well, and a tight, tense game for us there. But you've been here coaching and sponsoring the cheerleaders for quite some time now, haven't you? How long have you been the head coach?
I've been coaching for 13 years.
13 years. Mm-hmm. And you were a former cheerleader here at Bradley yourself, weren't you?
Right, yep. I was we cheered, it's when we only had at the time 10th through 12th grade.
Okay.
So all 3 years.
All 3 years
here,
there.
yeah.
Well, what do you enjoy most about being the coach of the girls out there?
Well, it's different than teaching. Like, the relationships are different. We get closer. I feel like I get to really know them well. I feel like we build, a place where we're comfortable, because you help them, want to better themselves. And that's my favorite part. It's like, if she can come in and become a better person, a better woman, athlete, even, just the physical aspect of it all, you feel like you're doing something right. And so.
Do they look at you maybe like a mother hen or a surrogate mother, or because I know with you and all these girls, they have boyfriend problems and things that go on and not good in their life sometimes, and they got to have somebody to talk to.
Right.
Are you the shoulder to crown, so to speak, with the girls sometimes, or?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. There's definitely quite a bit of that, and I love that. I mean, honestly, maybe I'm not as motherly as some people, right? But that, I mean, if you want to hear truth and straight talk, without a lot of fluff, I'm your girl, and I think they know that.
Well, that's good to have you to go to there. We see a lot of times when we're on the road for football or whatever, a lot of times we eat the same place.
Right, yeah.
That's one of the fun parts of
right.
Going to road games, you get to eat out somewhere.
Right.
But you seem to always be having a good time there, and the girls are, obviously they're very comfortable with each other, and
right.
they must have good chemistry and all that. I know it's not always that way, but it's nice to have the girls that can get along and support each other
right,
there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your upcoming events for the cheer squad.
Yes. All right. So I'm really excited because on September the 24th, that's a Saturday morning from 9 o'clock until 12 noon. We're asking any of the girls or anybody really, boy or girl, from potty trained through middle school. We would love to have you at our cheer clinic that we're going to host. It's going to be at Bradley. It's going to be in the main gym. And at 12 noon is when we will also do a parent demonstration. So, any of the parents that want to come in and watch to see what we've taught them that day, we'll demonstrate for them at the time. And then we're going to invite all the participants to come back to our homecoming game, which is October the 14th at Bradley. And there, the kids will get in for free. If you're a part of the clinic, you'll get into the game for free. And then we'll give t-shirts that night, and then they'll get to cheer or dance alongside of our girls, depending on what age they are and what we taught them during that clinic. So we're excited. We've heard this for years, like, can we please have a clinic? Can we have a camp of some sort for young people? And this seemed like the right year to try it out again. So it's been a while since we've done it. We're excited to have it back.
So at the end of the day, you're going to demonstrate to the parents
right.
what their girls can do, like
right,
rollovers, flips, or whatever.
Yes, so at 12 o'clock and we have all of this is on our application, which you can find in so many different places. You can find it on our Bradley Cheer Twitter. You can find it BC Cheer, BC Bears Cheer, which is our Instagram account. You can find it on Bradley Central High School. The main website has a floating tab where it says Kids Cheer Clinic. You can click there. You can find it there. We've got it posted the places. We've got physical flyers out at different gyms and at different elementary schools. So you'll take that, it sends you off to a Google form they fill out, and then they get to join another app or band group. And because in that group is a closed group, and if the parents have extra questions or if we have any announcements we need to make, we'll use that as our way of communicating to everybody.
Sounds like you got it covered every way you can
right.
with social media and all that stuff. For us TV announcers and radio announcers, people like that, it's very emotional, heart-stopping to watch a game like that. The girls get wrapped up in that out there. I mean, like Friday night, the game before that. I mean, it's probably kind of, and you do what you got to do to get by. How do you handle that? How do the girls handle that?
Oh man, it's well, to a certain extent, that's okay. Like once the
as long as you
game's-
win,
right? Yeah, and if there's an exciting play or an exciting moment, you'll see them respond to that, which I love because that means okay, they actually know what they're looking at. They understand the game enough to understand this is good or bad. But then also they'll get whatever it be, a cheer or something that comes in the mix. But sometimes they just want to go nuts and have fun and celebrate the moment. I mean, for a moment. And then sometimes it's like, all right, composure, get yourself back in line, whatever. But they know that. My seniors do an incredible job. They understand me. They understand the vibe and that they're there to do a job. And so, yes, there's the hype and the energy, but then there's, okay, we got business. And so they have done a great job at understanding what my vision is for that and then communicating that well to our team.
How many's on the basketball right now? I mean, the football
Football
squad.
team. For the football squad, we have 19. That's the most I've had in a long time. So we have 19 cheerleaders.
That's about the top limit you can have. I guess,
yeah. Yeah, we'll probably go back down to 18 next season. That's usually where I want to max.
How do you find flyers, we call them? You've got one we call flyers. We've got the base, we call it, it's holding up the flyers and all that. And you got the tumblers and the can do all those neat things. Do you train them to do any of that, or do you hope they're going to do it when you get to Bradley? I mean,
well, sometimes they do come in, from the middle school or even from cheer competition. They come in well versed in whatever they want to play in the stunt. However, there has been moments where I've looked at the girl and her physique or her background. Like if she comes from a background, often she's a really good top girl because she can control her body well. So she may have never done that position, but it's like, hey, can you trust your bases on the ground to put you in the air and then contort your body? Really well. So there were several years, girls who have never, been a top girl or any sort of stunt girl who came in with just a lot of good background, and I was able to get them in, and it was good and well executed. And then some who hasn't, we've got one in the area, Amanda Giovingo, so she's not, done any sort of top girl stunting since her 6th grade year, but when I watched how well she could hold her body and hold her balance, we put her in the air several times and she hits every single time. And so it really is, if you can trust one another, you can kind of experiment and see where would they go, where do they fit. One of my top girls who's been a top girl for 3 years, Kimsey Turner, I've put her as a base. Oftentimes if you're a top girl, you know what you need under you to hold that stunt. So when she transfers to a base, she gets the girl in the air and it's solid because she knows what's going on up there. So around with, as long as everyone's safe and gets that, it can be quite fun to figure that out.
Safety. It's like they're an athletic team, really.
Right.
People don't understand that. What's your typical week? I mean, how much do you practice during the week leading up to like a Friday night game? Okay,
yeah. So typically in the summer it's 3 days a week, and then starting when we have school back in session, we'll do 2 practices with the game on Friday. So it ends up being 3 meetings a week during the season. Yeah.
And all these. How much preparation time do they take for them? Because they're beautiful, and I mean they got all the perfect makeup, and their hair's just perfect, and they got the ribbons in their hair. And does it take them a while to do that? Because I know they got to make signs too.
Right. Yeah. So they make the signs.
Yeah.
Well, I only give them. I tell them they have to be completely ready and ready to go at 5:15 is our meeting time. So 3:30 is when your bell rings. 5:15 is when I tell them they have to be in the room ready to go. So between those 2 times, they have to go figure out what to eat and get dressed and get so they're ready to go at 5:15. So somehow they manage all that. They do pretty good.
Well, they do, and I know it's got to make them feel good. When it comes to the sidelines after the game, we just won a game, and they're saluting the BC Nation, the cheerleaders, and all that. I mean, it's a very emotional time, and a fun time to have there.
Right. Yeah, that's a fun little tradition that the boys have started up. So we like that moment.
It's very impressive there. Don't forget now, September 24th, 9 to 12 here at Jim Smead Arena. It'll be the camp group, as long as they're potty trained.
Potty trained.
On up, so we don't need any messy diapers out here.
Right,
whatever.
no, please.
Folks, bring your daughters out here for that, and then come back at 12 o'clock. You can see what they learned during that 3-hour session there.
That's right. And then, of course, October 14th, we're inviting everyone who was part of it back to join us on the field, and we're going to cheer alongside them for maybe a quarter. We'll give all that information out in our closed group that we'll have created.
That's our homecoming game with Farragut.
Right. That's it.
Well, until next time, for Jennifer Moore, getting so long for now, and go Bears and Bear It.